Why dating is so difficult in 2024, especially if you're a man. I got a little bit of a backstory that I want to share with you guys throughout this video. You guys are going to understand that, yeah, if you're a man, it's really difficult to date out there, especially if you're using dating apps or anything like that. You got to understand that women are really picky and selective, but on the other hand, you got to understand why they're picky and selective, which, they have great reason as to why that is. But I'm not going to go too much into all the reasons on this video. I'm going to just try keeping this video a little bit shorter and sweeter, just because it's really hot outside, guys. It's almost like 100 degrees. And, like, it's nice that there's a little breeze, but man, it's still warm. But anyways, so with dating in 2024, you got to understand that a lot of dating is happening online. I mean, of course, you'd still have people meeting in person, which, it happens from time to time. I don't think it's as common as it used to be. I think it used to be like the roles are reversed. So people used to meet in person, but like it was really, one of those things that it wasn't really talked about, people dating online or anything like that. And now it's kind of flipped. You hear more people dating online than them actually meeting in person, which you understand that today's generation, we're always, attached to some sort of smart device or whatever it is, and we're always constantly using that. So understand today's generation is pretty much, using that. So the vast majority of dating is happening online. When you look at that, you go to like the dating apps, and you also go to like these social platforms, which you understand how it's affecting dating, which is essentially it's making the competition more difficult for men, because when you look at it statistically, there's more men than women on these dating apps. And honestly, when there's more men, they're getting more attention on top of that. So you got to set yourself aside from the competition. So if you're trying to get any dates, or you're trying to meet somebody just in person, make sure you're working out and you're taking good quality photos. On top of that, you want to show that you're interesting and that you're friendly. If you don't show that you're friendly, people are gonna, or I should say, people looking at your profile, they're gonna notice that, and they're gonna be like, hey, this guy seems strange, he seems awkward, he seems like he's not safe to be around, or whatever it is on these dating apps. And women will pick up off of that. And surprisingly, I even had conversations with my girlfriend. There's times that we just go on drives and all that, and we're just talking, and I find certain little things pretty interesting, that that my profile looked pretty friendly and all that. So if you guys didn't know, that's how I actually met my girlfriend, was through a dating app, which to each their own. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for, which, in today's generation, dating in certain regions or certain areas, it's going to be different from other areas, and you're going to have better preferences, which I'm not going to go into that. But essentially, understand that women have a lot of options. On top of that, a lot of guys are reaching out to them. So you have more guys and a lot of guys reaching out, just because that's just the way how it is. It's very rare for women to reach out. If they do reach out, they'll reach out with like a simple hi, hey, or something like that. It's not really anything too interesting. On top of that, you should see and notice right away if they send you just like a one-word text, they're not really that interested in you. And on top of that, you're not their first choice, just because there's a lot of people on these dating apps, and they have a ton of options. So when they have a ton of options, they probably won't pick you. But that's not always the case. You have to pique their interest. So you got to learn how to text just in general. It's just something that I kind of noticed, is if you don't have any texting game, of course you're not going to get any replies. And it also shows a little bit of your personality, but not too much, because from what I learned, just from my own personal experience going out on dates and all that, so I'll go out on dates, and I'll notice that essentially women will carry the conversation typically, especially in my case, just because they see me, I know how to carry the conversation, I'm more of a listener and all that. And it's pretty much, for me, it's just landing the date and just getting on there. That's the difficult part, which I've been in a relationship, so I haven't been dating. But the thing I did want to mention, the story that I did want to share with you guys, is it's difficult for men dating out there, especially, is because, so this was kind of something, I'll tell you guys just a little bit. I'm going to keep it a little bit vague, but essentially, so I ended up having a dating profile on Tinder, and I would get matches here and there, and it wasn't a whole lot. And I'd get some responses, some replies, and before you know it, so this was when I was with my girlfriend, and I wanted to have a little bit of fun. So essentially I told my girlfriend, I'll be like, hey, would you down to do something with me, you know, possibly with another chick? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we ended up doing that. And so I ended up creating another Tinder profile with a picture of me and her, and man, I was getting a ton of matches. So understand that there's several factors that come into play. So it's something that you'll notice that women, they'll find you attractive when you're already in a relationship or when you have another woman that's around, because it kind of shows that validation that you're trustworthy. You're not somebody that's like a stranger, you know, something's not going to happen essentially if you do hang out with them. But the other thing is, you know, they find it attractive that essentially you're able to attract women. And if you guys understand the way how like female nature works and all that, is pretty much it kind of like shows validation on your part. Anyways, my overall point is that it's difficult to date, especially if you're a man. Once you end up going out on dates, it becomes a little bit easier. You're able to get more dates. The advice I can give you guys, for those of you guys looking out there to date and all that, is pretty much realize it takes time. You're not going to go out on dates all the time. On top of that, you need to be working out. You need to be increasing your physique. You need to increase your fashion. You need to increase your hairstyle, change it up. If something's not working for you, so if you're not getting any dates, you have to reflect and look at yourself and look at, how can I improve? How can I make a difference? Which, you know, looking at the previous comments from my previous videos, it seems like a lot of guys aren't really dating no more, which they're pretty much giving up on it. But you know, they still watch the content, which shows that, hey, you probably still have somewhat of an interest in dating or meeting women, or, you know, I don't know why some people just watch content to watch it. But essentially, increase your looks. Once you do that, increase your status. Show that you are somebody that women are willing to meet and all that. Once you display that, you know, I think it'll make it a little bit easier. On top of that, take good quality pictures. If you need to hire a photographer, hire a photographer. On top of that, show that you're doing interesting things, because from what I've seen, you know, women are really picky and selective. They're gonna choose the top profiles. So you gotta also understand your competition too. So just do the vice versa. See what kind of dating profiles are already out there, and just see, oh, okay, this is who my competition is. If you guys want that little bit of a slight edge, or understand, oh, okay, these are the type of pictures that they're taking. And you guys will understand as you guys go throughout. And, you know, the other thing is experience, which, you know, it's really difficult to get experience in today's generation, just because like dating isn't happening no more. You have, you know, too many options for women. On top of that, you have these social platforms that are only showing one narrative, and they're also polarizing people, and they're making it a little bit, what is it? They're dividing people just a little bit to not meet each other and hang out, which then again, you know, not everybody is like that. On top of that, you want to make sure you bring in the right person into your life, because you don't want to let anybody into your life, because essentially you bring in the wrong person, they will set you back, they will cause a headache. So make sure you are bringing in the right people. So, you know, get that experience, go out on some dates, find out if dating's for you. If you guys aren't really given an opportunity, just understand it takes time. You know, maybe the way you're working at it is not the best possible route. Maybe you should change it up, find something that does work for you. But anyways, guys, hopefully that kind of explains it, that, you know, there's too much competition out there. On top of that, you have all this validation for women, and, you know, it kind of like boosts their ego, and they like makes them realize, hey, you don't need a man, or you don't need to go out on dates. You can just have fun and all that, which, you know, at the end of the day, if they're happy doing that, that's all that matters. But for those of you guys that are trying to date, you know, just look at it, understand the way how the dating scene is kind of working. You know, don't give up hope, because like I saw somebody that commented on my video that, you know, if you can land up going on a date, you know, and you're pretty much the same attractiveness as I am, you know, that gives me hope. Which, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to inspire you guys and try helping you guys out. But don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next video.